welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Dragon Nest here at the Alienware Arena. We are coming to you with some fantastic last round action. It is potentially the last game we will see today as Singapore are about to take on Indonesia. It is going to be one heck of a matchup, and we'll be bringing it to you. Of course, we'll be heading to the snowfield, and I think it's probably about time that we just did exactly that. We'll talk more as we start to progress. These two sides are really ready to rock and roll, and so are we. So we'll be back with you in just a moment. So the two sides are heading on up for us. Singapore, who have come through undefeated so far. They are made up of the Vatican side. Zimplicit, he is the Bowmaster. He has been rocking and rolling it out for his side. The SG VFO, SG NFO, two players are in there, as so is that man, the Hot Beast. And at the moment, he certainly is doing exactly that and being hot than more than he knows. The Team Iron are on my right-hand side. They made up of Deirdre, Perfect Day, Hartrix, Fathom, and Artoto has been floating around there. And of course, I think it looks like he's on as well. So there we go. So ladies and gentlemen, the Bowmasters are going to come out. So are the Priests, the Elemental Lords, and in fact, it is a mirror image side. You cannot ask for anything more than that as these two sides go to fight the final spoils of what is some big prizes thanks to Razor and some massive cash on the line as well. So the winner, of course, taking home $2,000 here in this round-robin grand final matchup as everything hits home nice and early. The Indonesians copping on in there and rocking out the holy relics, lightning relics, and all sorts of other relics. Elemental Lords firing out everything that you like under the sun. Plenty of flame, plenty of frost, and also the lightning continues to chain on out. Relics getting dumped down even more, and they continue to do some good damage. A volley of arrows being chucked out from the Bowmaster. Here he is just sitting back quite happily as the Priest chucks a bit of damage in his general direction. As the Bowmaster stuck in a world of hurt here for Singapore. That's implicit, the team captain, as he continues to push on through though. He won't be taken down that easily, he says, and get some good support from his mercenary mate. The odd boulder chucked out, and the Priest in the background is going to go down. There we go. It's going to be a 4v2 situation. Singapore start to push in the right direction as they've got an Elemental Lord and a Bowmaster to take on down. They're going to do that with some consummate ease by the looks of it. So they all team up on the Bowmaster, pop her into a shell of frost, and then rip her to shreds. And she'll go down. It'll be left on the Elemental Lord to somehow survive in a 4v1 situation. And we all know she's delaying the inevitable running. And there you go. First round to Singapore, and they do it like they have done all day, ladies and gentlemen. They push harder and faster than nothing on earth. Of course, Singapore well ahead of everybody in the stakes here. If they win, they take home the $2,000. 4 Naga Epics from Razor, 4 Razor Goliathus mouse pads, and some goodies as well in the form of a t-shirt and a cap. So they'll be looking forward to winning this match, and that's the top at hand for them at the moment. Of course, Indonesia have got something to say about that because they want to have a go as well. Everybody starts to hone on into the middle, and shots are ringing out. There is no slowdown on this map. There's none of these 1 minute wait times that we've been experiencing in previous rounds, ladies and gentlemen. These two teams are right into it and hot and bothered as always. The Bowmasters are flying the shots out. The Mercenaries are getting in and amongst it as the Singapore Mercenary starts to push on onto his opposite number. He fires some shots on out and just bangs him into a corner. Here's the Elemental Lord for Singapore. She's just hiding over the backside. She's got the opposite number in front of her. The shots go banging out. Here comes a flame battle. Oh, they're just lighting each other up. Now they're freezing each other to bits. It is a cold. Oh, the Broomstick comes out. She rocks around the clock. As the shots of volleys of Bowmaster arrows go flying on in. There'll be no escape for the Elemental Lord from Indonesia. She'll get taken down. And another takedown from the Singaporean Elemental user. So now we're into a 3v2 situation. Indonesia with the man up. So they'll take the advantage and try and capitalise on it. Singapore, though, the Priest has got something else to say. The Bowmaster firing the volley of arrows down on top of them as the Singaporean Priest continues to try and push on through. The work is hard as he's now left on his lonesome. His teammate taken down, and he'll be left to dust as the Mercenary finishes the battle And a round of applause, quite rightly, goes to Team Iron, who have done something that not many have been able to do before them, and that's take a round off Singapore. So another good round is over. And let's see what Indonesia have got up their sleeve this time round as the Singaporeans just trek across the map of Snowfield in very fast haste. As it looks like we're going to see a ramp raid. Yes, we are. The ramp raid comes out as the Indonesians take the high ground. As it's not going to be too much of an issue for the player in the form of Zimplicit. He loves going up the top there and griefing the opposition while they just hide like little girly men up the top side. The Bowmaster for Indonesia is not Deirdre, in fact, he's the mercenary. It is going to be Toto this time round. There's, shots come in from the sideline. They didn't expect that one, did the Indonesians, and the Singapore Elemental Lord just chucking in a world of hurt just when they least expected it. The Lightning Relics are dropped down, and so's the healing buff. Look at that. So they got that done over, but they've had to throw the heals out to their team. So 1 minute into the round, we still are not really seeing any signs of a push from either side. It's just a case of griefing. Here comes Zimplicit again. He's going to start to push on through. His opposite number goes to have a go at him, but Zimplicit bails on out before she gets a chance. And that'll be some good work from him. Zimplicit really leading the side nicely here. The boulders come in from the mercenaries. Knockdown on the Bowmaster here of Toto. So he's going to try and get back into it. Oh, he's getting a world of hurt from up top. And now the push comes in from Singapore. They're coming in from all sides, and as well as the ramp, they're using it to full effect, and they can even got the option to bail on out if they want to. In the meantime, they've dropped a lot of pain on top of the Indonesians, who are sitting with one or two players on low levels of health. The mercenary sitting in the background, probably in the wrong place, needs to get in and get amongst it. And now the push comes through from Singapore. They split their team. Is it a good move or not? That's the question, as Zimplicit keeps on pushing. He gets joined by his priest and teammate. Now the mercenary has to start getting amongst it. Oh, big shots come out. The first player from Singapore goes down. So will it be a good move of sending in one player on his lonesome? It probably wasn't, but let's see how it progresses for the Singaporeans. The Indonesian side have got Forstry standing in a 4v2 now. As the mercenary gets dropped, the priest is the killer on this occasion. Mercenary shots are good ones. And there you go. 4 standing, and quite happily standing for Indonesia, as Singapore will readdress that probably element of silliness as they sent 1s and 2s up to the top of the ramp raid. And it was not the best move. We've seen it many a time before. We even saw it at the Prelude way back in September, if you were there. And the Singaporean players will be knowing now not to send their teams in separately. They want to keep them together. They want to keep them all with each other as the mercenaries go toe-to-toe, as the Indonesian mercenary disappears from that little toe battle. And now he's rejoined by the Singaporean opposition. And the shots go ringing out. Bang, the shots come up. It's an Elemental Lord now giving him grief on the mercenary. He gets down to like 2/3 of his health. He's all going to be just about done as he continues to get grief. Now it's the Acrobat who's getting on top of him. Now the Elemental Lord back for more action. The Acrobat tries to come in to help him by fending off the Elemental Lord and the mercenary. But more shots from the mercenary. He tries to take on the opposite Elemental Lord. It's going to be a close quarters battle. First player goes down for Singapore. Not a good option for them to lose one early on in the piece. In this 4v3 situation, the mercenary still bashing away on his opposite numbers. The priest is going to get the problems this time round as the mercenary still somehow standing. He's copped a whole lot of pain, and he will be the one who helps to take out his opposite number. So the mercenary on not a lot of health, gets some good support here, and the priest is going to go down very swiftly here. He's going to get comboed in a corner, and that will be him, and it'll leave just the one player left. Over the back there it is, the Zimplicit, all on his lonesome with the bow in hand, getting nailed. Indonesia take a 3-1 lead, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not even kidding you. They are literally on the bottom of the table right now. If they win this game, they get to step up and potentially grab themselves even more cash than they anticipated. But of course, the bigger point here for Singapore is they need to win. If they win, they take home the cash. If they don't, it's going to be a 1v2 playoff, and the two top sides in the form of Singapore and Malaysia will go up against each other. But that's not the problem right now. The problem is, of course, Indonesia that stand in front of them, and these Indonesian players being very clever about what they're doing. They're sitting back this time round. They're waiting up the top of that ramp raid as the mercenary just keeping a watch. The priest just getting briefed there by a couple of boulders. Oh, hello, how's your father? As a big explosion happens topside. The Bowmaster here is going to, oh, look at the volley of arrows going up north. As the Bowmaster is implicit, just trying to keep his team under control. They all back out there. Oh, a shot from the Elemental Lord, and the Bowmaster was a fantastic one. He's down to half health as implicit. He's going to go up and try the grief again. He fires off the shot. He just manages to evade a couple of good, well-aimed shots from the Indonesian side. Now Singapore sending players in all over the place as they go in far. They've gone and split again though, ladies and gentlemen. This is not good for them. They've only got 2 players up on the ramp. The other 2 start to join them. But is the damage already done? The shots from Zimplicit are good ones as he lays the volley out. But here's the mercenary for Singapore in a big load of trouble. He's just managing to cause enough problems for Indonesia to try and maybe get away with it. He throws out a boulder or 2 as a shot goes out there. Look at the mess that's happening over here. Mercenary v mercenary as they continue to try and push on each other. Indonesia loses the first player, but there's still plenty of, oh, another player goes down for Indonesia. It's going to be a 4v2 situation. They start to turn their attention to the Elemental Lord. She tries to blink out of it. She can't do so. There's no hiding, young lady, and she will get downed as well. The last player still standing is the priest, and he won't for much longer. Local support is here and in force, and the Indonesians will be feeling that they need to step back up again. These Singaporean players want to take home the cash, and at the moment all that stands between them is 3 more rounds. So Singapore just getting themselves organised for this next round, the 6th round of this final, potentially final match here on the map of Snowfield. The mercenary just making his way around the map with some ease, just getting himself set up, getting some good viewpoints. And they're doing very, very well here, Singapore. They're looking up topside, but they're just not succumbing to the ramp raid in its full glory as Zimplicit continues to grieve. He has shown an absolute mastery of throwing out the arrow volleys up top, as well as aiming those offensive shots onto the opposition. He takes a bit of heat when he does so, but by goodness he leads by example, and no fear is the way forward for him. The Elemental Lord for the Indonesian side just getting himself set up. He casts on out a bit of grief and a bit of attention for his opposite number. 1 minute gone in the round, 2 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. Still 4v4 situation. These 2 sides are really getting close to doing the damage on top of each other. The mercenary waits. He waits for something to come and give him something to aim at. As in the meantime, Singapore quite happy to just sit on back. The Bowmaster here in the form of Implicit, he just keeps on. We keep mentioning his name because he's doing such a good job for his team. Here he goes now. Is he going to rock on in? No, he's just going to set himself up. He's joined by his Elemental Lord. They start to push on through. The volley of arrows is a good one. Now we're starting to see the action rock on in. Oh, the broomstick comes out from Indonesia. It's not a bad little effort either as the shots continue to push on through. Big volley of arrows. Lightning relic gets dumped. There's some big holy terror chucked on down there from the Singaporean priest. More shots going ringing on out. The mercenaries in good stead to the 4v4 situation. Now the Elemental Lord is going to get suffering from the mercenaries' grief. Bang, another go across goes down. It's still all standing 4v4 situation. The shots are going to be good on the mercenary, goes for the Elemental Lord. Oh, it's mercenary stuck in a bit of trouble. He's out the back, but he's going to get some help from his teammates. The first Singaporean player goes down. The mercenary's still in very good health position. He cops a whole volley of arrows from the Bowmaster. 4v3 situation, still going through. The mercenary is doing some sensational work for Singapore. He keeps on pushing. He won't die. The whirlwind comes out. Nobody's going to get hit by it, though. It's more an evasive move than it is an offensive one. He starts to now push on his opposite number, and he will get done over. No, yes, he will. It's a 3v3 situation. Turn it into a 2v2 as the Bowmaster takes out one. Hold the phone. Turn it on its ass. It's going to be Indonesia who have got 1 player left. The priest has got a good health situation. He's going to take on his opposite number as the 1v1 with the priest starts to occur, but there's still a Bowmaster in the background. Surely this is going to be the death knell here for the Indonesian side. They're all relying on their player. He gets done over. 3 rounds apiece on the board, ladies and gentlemen, as Singapore stage a mini comeback here after going 2 rounds down. They were 3 rounds to 1 a little while ago. Now it's back to 3v3, and the 2 teams will once again roll out. It's not going to be a ramp raid this time. The Indonesians decide, let's go downstairs and fight them down the mid. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Boulders get chucked out from the mercenaries. That's some good work for them to hit those and take the pain. The priests get the lightning organisers. Flame goes everywhere. Elemental Lord's just chucking it across the map. And it's hitting everybody as well. They've got some well-aimed shots going on here. As a priest just watching from afar how this map is progressing. As the opposition priest is dazed and confused. He gets hit, the lightning relic comes out. The shots from that relic go out and do some damage. So does the flame as the priests come into their own. A bit of heals goes dropping on down, and that's some good work there from the priest as well. But Indonesia look like they've got themselves in a fairly tidy position. Let's see what the Elemental Lord can do as he's come up against a priest in front of him. It's going to be 4v2 situation. The Singaporeans are going to lose too as the Indonesians grab a bit of a lead. The Elemental Lord tries to escape topside. She's going to keep an eye on everything from above. And she's going to have a go at her opposite number by the looks of it. As the Bowmaster for Singapore, Implicit is in a world of trouble. The Bowmaster on the other side of the equation from Indonesia is Toto, and he was in full health. It'll be another round defeat for Singapore, and it'll be 4 rounds to 3. Match point with Indonesia, ladies and gentlemen. Start biting your fingernails if you've got them, because that's what it's coming down to. It is going to be Singapore to try and grab 2 more. They really have no room to move, and they want to take home the cash this time round. Indonesia have got things to say otherwise. Lightning relics get dropped down through the middle of the map. The boulders get chucked out from our friends, their mercenaries. And here we go, the volley of arrows from up above from Implicit. He is getting on in and getting amongst it, showing his team how to get in there and do it. Right up and close. Here he is on the screen now. He fires out the homing arrow. It does that indeed and homes on into his opposite number. The mercenary is suffering at the hands of his opposite number over in the corner. If you're on the Indonesian side, you don't want to be watching that. Implicit is getting a whale of a time out the back. He is not even getting touched. He just firing a volley after volley, and that's not good though. The priest is down for Singapore. It's a 4v3 situation. Hold the phone, ladies and gentlemen. This could be an upset. The mercenary for Singapore babies out. He's got to run away, and his opposite number is coming towards him. He fires off the boulder to try and get some splash damage. Can't quite hit it off. And in the meantime, it's a 4v2 situation down the middle of the map because the Singaporean players are left to try and take on this attack. The mercenary is going to get griefed already. He's going to go down. Singapore left in a whole lot of trouble. The Elemental Lord is literally teetering on the brink of death. Implicit is teetering on the brink of death. He's going to get taken out any minute as they are running away like girly men. They can't avoid the defeat. As Implicit goes down, the Elemental Lord will be suffering any second now, and the NFO player will literally just run away trying to avoid the inevitable. Fires a couple of shots off, but unless he's got something completely over the top, ulti powerful, it is going to be a game that is done and dusted. And huge kudos. Oh, tried the Harry Potter. Not to be. Indonesia win it 5 rounds to 3 and a monster upset against the undefeated Singaporean side. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will take us to another match. But that is some sensational work from Indonesia in the meantime. We'll be back with you in just a moment. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, a match that went down to the wire. Indonesia doing what was probably thought unthinkable before the game and winning. They win a big matchup, and of course that makes it another game still to be played. The Singaporean side have now got to take on Malaysia to see who will take away the big dollars. And we'll be back with you very, very soon to say and give you information on just that. Join us in just a moment as this Dragoness Grand Final action heats up hugely.